Welcome back, listeners. My name is Larry Kolvig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Haven Financial Group radio show on every week from 9 to 10. Glad you're listening. Feel free to give us a call, 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com. Every week, we discuss crucial retirement and financial topics, a whole bunch of them, that can really make the difference between surviving retirement and thriving through it. And they are called the golden years for a reason, and we want to make sure they're as golden as possible.
I love that. Kyle Thomas is with us. He's a certified financial planner. We've been talking about saving for college, and we're really addressing two different groups. We're addressing, parents, but maybe grandparents too, who would like to get involved in this process. And it's not just a savings plan, it's a strategy. We talked just a minute ago about 529s, and now we want to talk about a universal life insurance strategy. This is something I really was not very familiar with until we started to go through this. So I don't know which one of the two of you would like to talk about it, but explain how universal life insurance can be a savings tool for a college education.
Yeah, this is another tool, and it has some similar characteristics to a 529. So a universal life insurance policy, it gives you flexibility with the premium. So you can put in, X amount, and next year, if you wanted to do more or not as much, you can do whatever you want. Traditional insurance policies, or some traditional insurance policies, have a fixed amount that you have to do, otherwise this will lapse. But this is a universal life insurance policy, so that's the universal part provides that flexibility. And now, when you make these contributions, there's a cash value that accumulates. And the account also, the policy can be indexed to the S&P 500, for example, and there can be growth associated with that policy, which is what you would end up drawing on for the education expenses as well. So kind of similar to the 529, where it's or indexed with some kind of stock market return. It's just a different product avenue to go down.
What happens if there's big losses in the S&P, for example?
Well, so with this one, if there's losses in the S&P, there is a 0% floor. So if you're in the 529, you actually lose money with that one. But with this type of policy, there is no losses. So that's the benefit of having this floor inside of it. And in that way, you don't have losses, which losses are actually worse than having big gains, because losses erode away and have a bigger impact than gains do. If you're looking at the same kind of degree of loss versus gain.
What are the tax ramifications in a universal life insurance policy?
So this one is also going to be tax-free, as long as it's going to be used for the college expenses. So loans or withdrawals from the policy are tax-free, giving you the flexibility to not have to, pay taxes on any of the distributions that you're using for the college expenses. And then this also, because it's not technically an asset, it doesn't have an impact on the FAFSA as well. So back to the 529, the grandparent is the owner, or someone who's the non-parent. If they own the 529, there's no impact. Well, the parent can own this policy, and there's no FAFSA impact because it's not technically an asset. You're borrowing against a policy, and it doesn't show up on your net worth per se.
529s are used for education. This doesn't necessarily have to be used for education. You could use this as a savings tool, correct?
Yeah, you can use this as a savings tool. You could use it for retirement if you held on to it until then. And the way that this works is the longer that you wait on taking withdrawals from it, the greater the benefit that you receive is. So there's a bunch of different universal life insurance policies and different ones structured for different things, but you have a death benefit protection as well. So that makes sure that you have a guaranteed amount that the beneficiary of the account will receive if something ever happens to you. So you have a death benefit protection with the policy. So if something happens to the owner of the policy, there is still a protected amount that the beneficiary would receive. You can supplement retirement with it. If you don't use it all for college, you could use it for retirement and let it grow. And it's protected from creditors as well. So, in a lot of states, cash value and life insurance can be protected from those creditors. So if anything happens and you have debts and liabilities, that part will not be taken away.
So tell me what would happen though, Kyle, if this insurance company goes out of business?
If the insurance company goes out of business, that has happened before, but we typically only work with insurance companies who are A-rated or better.
Okay.
And those A-rated or better companies typically don't run out of business. And if they do, other insurance companies will step in and assume whatever debts that company has. It happens quite a bit. I mean, with banks as well. The government just doesn't really let that happen. And there's always some kind of bailout that happens so people don't end up losing their assets that are invested in these companies.
Sure.
Kim, I'm going to add to that. Correct. We typically only work with A-rated companies. There's B and C companies, and for good reason. You know why we only work with A-rated companies. They're strong. They've been around a long time. But a lot of these are also backed up to a certain amount by the state guarantee fund where they're being offered. So there is protection there. And I know this segment is talking about universal life for college planning. I'm going to take it a little step further here, though. If that's something you're interested in, certainly come on in. We talk about universal life. If you're younger and just to get the conversation started, it might be a great place. But if you're a listener and you have life insurance, when's the last time you had a life insurance review? You say, well, I haven't in years. How do you know that your policy is doing what it's supposed to be doing? How do you know it's not eating itself up? Do you know if you have a variable life insurance policy? Do you have whole life? What's the cost associated with it? You should really owe it to yourself to get a life insurance review. We have access to pretty much all the companies here at Haven. Glenn and Isabel in our office do life insurance reviews. We expose a lot of things that you want to know now rather than waiting till later and find out, oh my goodness, I just paid into all this and now it's not going to do what it was supposed to do. So life insurance review, there's no cost to it. It might be eye-opening. And if it's nothing more than confirmation that you're in a good spot, great. Are we going to try to sell you a bunch of life insurance? No, not if you don't need something. I mean, salespeople sell you something sometimes you don't need, but can it work into your retirement plan? It certainly could. If you're a high net worth listener, have you ever looked at life insurance retirement plans? They're called LIRPs. Might be another way to, if legacy is important to you, to pass on to your loved ones or heirs or grandkids. So LIRPs, life insurance retirement plans. They've become more popular since the rules with IRAs and RMDs, since the rules changed here about 5 years ago. So life insurance is a broad spectrum of products for a variety of reasons. Get it reviewed, get it looked at, and that can piggyback into a long-term care conversation, which nobody wants to have. There's some good options out there that haven't been around for that long. Let's look at all the options, find out what's good, bad, and indifferent, and then at least you'll know, and there is no cost for that.
Absolutely. Well, most people don't think about life insurance in this way. I think a lot of people have sort of an old idea about life insurance. You bought it so that it covered your expenses when you died and then maybe left a little something for your spouse. But life insurance can be used in a lot of different ways now. And if you're someone who would like to look into this universal life insurance for college savings or maybe for retirement savings, be sure you give the folks here at Haven Financial Group a call. 612-504-8400. That's 612-504-8400. We're just trying to give you an idea of the many options that are out there to help you maybe save for your college bound kids, maybe your grandkids, and of course, all of this tying to ultimately your retirement. When we come back, wealth stability and family finances, we'll talk about that right here on the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.